Yep. Let's go.
And action. Just to take it a step further on the wheel pieces. Sorry for the background noise, right? We're among through the drag strip in the local Air Force Base here in Las Vegas.
Sure.
But, the idea was we wanted to make sure that we were testing our wheels to the J spec, and of course the Department of Transportation's maximum expectations. Right?
Yes.
Nothing
Yes.
is minimum at Mickey
Sure.
Thompson tires and wheels.
We know all about that.
Yep. So the idea was be sure to qualify what you're putting on your vehicle. That's the big picture here. These are a lot of rotating mass here. These trucks are putting up a lot of stress. Ball joints are screaming. We want to make sure that we're doing the right things.
Sure.
Right. So make sure you're checking with your local Department of Transportation and your jurisdiction to make sure that you're doing the right things. Well, let's get back to the wheel specs, right? The Builder Series that we could consider this MT Classic Forged is really about going wider. So while we have 15s, 16s, 17s, and future 20s and maybe larger diameter wheels, the focus with the forged product specifically, the MT Classic Forged, is 14 and 16 wide. 3.5-inch backspace, extreme, yes. Right? Aircraft grade aluminum. That's the 6061 with the T6 heat treatment. We want to make sure that we're building a more superior, heavier load rated type product, right? Because again, we're dealing with a lot of rotating mass here. So expect to see more from us. But gosh, guys, what do you think? I just want to get your opinion overall about the look of the wheel. That's a forged cap, and I want you to take a look real close there.
Absolutely.
Make sure you're catching all the features of this product. Check it out.
Well, the coolest thing, and you told me, was the signature. You're like, there's a little signature there. Yeah. A little signature touch, I think is what you said. And I was like, oh, well, he's done something somewhere, yeah. But did not know it was a physical Mickey Thompson signature, which is, to some people, who cares? But that's a cool little touch. And it had to be engraved in the wheel. So, but the caps, we talked a lot about the caps, and I was like, all these specs and things, what do they really matter? They do matter. They're huge. But the cap, he's been working on the cap for I don't know how long, long enough, but that little touch is huge. Like, it's the finishing point. It's not just some little plastic crap. It's a real deal. Right. And the modular part of this wheel, the cool part is that everything lines up so nicely. The 8 lug looks a little different, the wheels that Solomon has and others, the size of the holes are a little bit different. That has to match with the lug pattern. That's and right. Then the shadow, the reflection, it's all got to look right. And that's a whole lot of, obviously, 3D and other things to make that come out.
Well, the key there, right, was we wanted to capture that classic wheel.
Yeah. That's the exact word that I think of when I look at that is classic, and that's what y'all were after.
Well, and the wheels that were on this Blazer were the original Mickey Thompson Alcoas that looked like they came out of the box yesterday, but they came out of a box 35 years ago or more. It was wrapped with a set of these tires that were also 30 years old. And this right here, though, it's bigger diameter, but not by much. That's only 1 inch of circumference from a 15 to a 17. So it's not like you're going big wheel. Like, nobody's going to look at that and think it's bling bling. It's error correct. It's proper.
Absolutely is.
Yep. With all the right fitments for newer vehicles and obviously olders as well.
Yeah, we never left, right?
Yeah,
we're here, and we're continuing to carry that legacy forward. So.
Absolutely. We really appreciate you guys working so hard, along with keeping us involved in making this happen.
That's the part that, like I said, it's a huge company. They're not just in their backyard in a shed, but to listen and come through and produce this kind of product is unheard of.
We appreciate you guys taking the calls at, like you were saying, JW. That hey, you got 2 seconds, Dave?
All hours
on Saturday at 4 a.m. In the morning. No, not really.
You don't know what it's going to lead to. Like you just don't know. This could have never become a thing, but with enough people paying attention, enough people behind the scenes willing to work. Blake's second generation on this. So many people behind the scenes pushing for it, and to come out.